Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Jim Lee, and I want to talk about new beginnings. We think of new beginnings in January. That's the month that kicks off a brand new year. We think of it as a time of fresh new starts, a time for a clean slate. And you know what? We generally release the past or attempt to do and focus on new beginnings, especially on this adventure that we call life. And also, we think of new beginnings when we graduate from school or university or some kind of training. Also, we can think of new beginnings with a ceremony like a wedding. And after that, it is a new beginning. These and other what I would call special occasions in which we embark on a new beginning. Well, today I want to look at the gift of new beginning from a very different point of view. A point of view that's, I call it an opening to miracles and blessings beyond our wildest imagination. So the talk title today is Evogenesis. In the beginning, God. Now, I want to start off with, I got to be a little careful here because sometimes God has a lot of baggage to it. And so I'm taking a look at the term God is this evolutionary impulse of evogenesis. Now, my wife coined this phrase, evogenesis, and it really means the evolutionary impulse connecting with the beginning, Genesis. And in fact, in the first chapter or beginning of the Bible, it's the book of Genesis. And it says, in the beginning, God, or I like to say it, in the beginning, the evolutionary impulse created everything, and it was good. Everything created was good. So let's be aware of something. That this creator appears to have begun creating the universe, what some people may call the Big Bang, some 13.7 billion years ago. And we're going to take that at the same time to be aware that God, or this evolutionary impulse, is still creating. And that there is a big bang or new beginning in each and every moment. Hold on. Just check this out. I read this article. It was in New Science. And the title of the article is, "This is how the universe changes with every new year that passes." And the article states, with each new year that comes upon us, there are a slew of new events awaiting us not only here on earth, but throughout the entire observable universe. Despite all appearances that things don't change very much, particularly on cosmic scales, our planet, the solar system, the galaxy, and even the entire universe all undergo significant metamorphosis. Stars change their appearances, new stars form, and old stars die. Every year, for over 13 billion years in amazing ways, our universe is forever altered and altering. And in 1929, astronomer Edwin Hubble showed that the distant galaxies were receding from the Earth. And now, it is a proven fact that our universe is in fact expanding. I want to go now from the macrocosm to the microcosm. As an article in Healthline that says this: Using more sophisticated methods than before, new research estimates that there are about 37 trillion human cells in the average person. Roughly 170 to 230 billion cells die per day, and roughly the same amount of new cells are born. So we are evolving and changing moment by moment, and so is the universe. We are alive, and so is this universe. It's not stagnant. It's not dead. It's alive. Everything is, and so it is with us. And so each moment is a new moment. And I want us to take a look at it, is a new beginning with this evolutionary impulse. That was a movie that I like. I think it came out in 1993, and it's called Groundhog Day. Some of you may remember it. And it starred Bill Murray, who plays Phil, a narcissistic, self-centered weatherman who is given an assignment to cover Groundhog Day in the small town of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Phil, he does the news broadcasts and he spends the night in Punxsutawney. However, the next day, when he wakes up, he finds himself in a time loop. He is reliving Groundhog Day over and over and over and over again. Every day is the same with the same events. Every day he meets the same people. He appeared to be in a box of what I would call reoccurring events. Well, sometimes our life can feel like we are stuck, like Phil, in a box. And we're stuck in a limited way. We're stuck in a limited thinking. We're stuck in particular ways of being. And it seems like it's difficult to get out of that. So let's step outside of the box, where the world appears static, shaped by past events, or that life just shows up a certain kind of way. There's nothing we can do about it. I like a quote by Bayo Okomolafe in which he says, "Thinking outside the box is exactly how boxes think." So I want to change that. So today we're going to step outside of the box by realizing that there really is no box to step outside of. What I'm inviting us to do is to shift our awareness to embrace the mystery of our next highest evolution. We know that God is in this beginning and in all beginnings. It is here that the sacred is found. It is here in this moment by moment that we find our real home in the mystery of the moment. This is evogenesis, a place of moment by moment with a new beginning. So for some of us, this is maybe a new spiritual muscle of awareness that the universe and our life is always new. To use this new spiritual muscle, we must remain in touch with love. This is the very nature of our being and the very nature of the universe itself. So I'd like for us to take a moment now to look at one of the ways that we can lose touch or get out of sync with this awareness of the expanding, evolving love and the evolving self that goes from good to greater good. want to take a look at what is natural for us, but also that can turn in to what I would call a moment of not being able to realize what is naturally there. What happens is this: life occurs, and when we focus our awareness on our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations, and the perceptions of life, something happens. We can over-identify with the experience of life as who we are instead of we're having an experience. We're having the thoughts. We're having the feelings. Like we have a piece of clothing. They don't own us. We have them. And so when we over-identify, we place our experience of the ego and our feelings of separateness into the foreground, into the driver's seat. And our awareness of the universe and this evolution of the magnificence of the divine gets put in the background. So if we're going to, well, I would say stop, we can, I would say, take a moment, and it seems like we're pulling our hand away from the universe when we stop and do this, and we're no longer in union with what already is. And this puts us in a limited, erroneous way of thinking. In fact, it puts us in an illusionary box that's not really there. So now to get back in harmony with this divine, all that is required is to soften and relax ourselves into an energy, and I want to call this energy of non-attachment and love. Very briefly, non-attachment is sort of like a Buddhist, no, it is a Buddhist term. We have in life, if you notice, we can be attached to things, and then we cling on to them, and we can hold them, and we embrace them, and we don't want to let them go. We can also have detachment, which is we turn our back on it. We're now taking a look at doing something very different. We're not turning our back, we're not being attached. It is what we're going to do is hold on to non-attachment. Now, non-attachment is to hold it loosely, to be aware of everything, don't ignore anything, but to be in the presence of everything, but don't over-identify with it. And as we do this, peace, love, wisdom emerges from the background, and this evolutionary impulse begins to make itself known in the foreground of our experience, where we want it. We want to hold on to the hand of the universe again. The key that I have found is just the willingness and the intention to be one with this evolutionary impulse connects us with the presence of the present. We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be willing to be open to this magnificent evolution that is present in this moment. And as we relax, we're able to look through the lens of love and see that everything is new and alive in each and every moment. We step out of this illusionary box of limited thinking into an expanded realm where the miracles are commonplace. Each moment is a new beginning. It's fresh, clean, and it is always good. So as we step into this new way of living, I'm inviting you just to realize something new is always happening. The universe is new every moment. We are new every moment. In fact, from the time you started watching this, you've changed and altered many thousands of cells. You're new. Let's be in this new way. In the beginning, which is in each and every moment, God, the evolutionary impulse, or goodness is available to us. Let's align with it. Let's have a fantastic life. God bless you.